Hello and welcome everyone to today's coding challenge, and today we are going to discuss a question on lead code, question number 841, keys and rooms. This is a medium level question and that is based on this graphs concept. The question states that there are n rooms labeled from 0 to n minus 1 and all the rooms are initially locked except for room 0, and our goal is to visit all the rooms. However, we cannot enter a locked room without having its keys. When we visit a room, we may find a set of distinct keys in it. Each key has a number on it denoting which room it unlocks, and we can pick all of them with us and we can to unlock the other rooms. We have given an array rooms where rooms I is the set of keys that we can obtain if we visit room I, and we have to return true if we can visit all the rooms, or we have to return false in all other cases. Let us look at this example number 1 to understand better about this question. We have rooms array as 1, 2, 3 and an empty array. When we visit room number 0 that is initially opened for us, we find that there is a key in that named as 1. So we can pick that key with us and move on this room number 1. When we visit room number 1, we find the key for room number 2. We can pick that key for with us and visit room number 2. And when we visit room number 2, we find a key for this room number 3. We can pick that key with us and visit room number 3. And when we visit room number 3, there are no more keys in that room and there are also no more rooms to visit. So we can return true in that case because we were able to visit all the rooms. So we have to return true in that case. Let us look at this example number 2. When we visit room number 0, we find there are two keys in that room. One for this room number 1 and one for this room number 3. We picked both of these keys with us, and first we have to visit room number 1. So when we visit room number 1, we unlock that room and find that there are 3 keys in that room. One for room number 0, one for room number 1 and one for room number 3. We can neglect the key for room number 0 because the room number 0 is initially opened for us and we do not want keys for that room. We can neglect the key for room number 1 as well because this room number 1 is opened now because we have key for this room number 1 from room number 0. So we can neglect this as well. We can neglect this key for room number 3 as well because we have the room key for room number 3 from this room number 0. So we do not pick any of the key from this room number 1, and now we have to move on this room number 3. And when we visit room number 3, we find a key for room number 0 there. But we do not want the key for room number 0 because it is initially opened for us. So there are no more choices left for us to visit this room number 2 because we do not find any key to open this room number 2 in our all previously visited rooms. So we have to return false in that case. What will be the basic brute force approach to solve this? One of the approach we can think about is to mark a data structure that keep track of some keys in integer format. That may be some unordered set or a visited array. For every room, we have to check that whether we have the key for that room available in our data structure from our all previously visited rooms or not. Suppose if we are on this room number 0, room number 1, we have to check that in that data structure we have key for this room number 1 or not. If we do not have the key for room number 1 in the data structure, we have to return false and if we do have key for this room number 1, we can pick all the keys present in this room number 1 with us and try to move on the next rooms. Now if we are on this room, we have to check that whether we have the key for this room number 2 in our all previously visited rooms or not, and we can find that we have the key for opening this room from our previously visited rooms. So we have to now keep this 3 with us and move on to next rooms. And when we are on this index, or we can check that whether we have the key for this room number 3 from our all previously visited rooms or not, and we can check that we have 3 as well in our data structure. So we can also enter into this room and mark our this index as visited as well. So after doing all this, we can check in our visited array that whether all the rooms are marked true or not. If we have any of the room that is marked false, we can return false in that case, otherwise we can return true. So that will be the one of the approaches to solve this, and the other approach to solve this will be the dependency part. That means we can see a dependency for every node to its previous node in this question. Suppose if we are on this room number 1, there is a dependency for this room number 1 from its previous room, that is from 0 room, because from 0 we can only move on this 1, and if we are on this room number 1, we can only move on this room number 2, and if we are on this room number 2, we can only move on this room number 3, and from 3 we cannot move anywhere. So first we have to take care of a visited array, and then what we have to do, suppose this room number 0 is initially opened for us, so we do not want any key to open this. We can mark our 0th room as true initially, so let us mark this as true. Now if we try to run a DFS for this room 0, let us suppose we try to run a DFS for this 0, and we are initially on this node. The DFS will mark all the connected rooms to this 0 in one pass only, and if this DFS will mark all the connected room in one pass only, that means these all rooms are initially actually connected to each other, and there is a dependency for every room on every other previous nodes. That means this one can be opened for this 0th, and we have previously 0 as opened for us, so this one can be opened and we can move on this one. If we are on this 1, we can move on this 2, and if we are on this 2, we can move on this 3. Moving on every node, we can mark those as true as well. After completing the DFS for this graph, we can check in our visited array that whether if there are any room that is marked unvisited, so we have to return false in that case, otherwise we have to return true in that case. Let us look for example number 2 as well. Let us copy this and paste it here. This is example number 2. Let us make a graph for this. This is 0. We can move on 1 and 3 for example number. Let us copy this and paste it here. Now let us suppose this is 0th node. we can move on from 0, we can move on this 1 and 3. So let us suppose this is 1 and this is 3. Now for 1 we can move on this 3 here, this 0 here, and this 1 itself. Now there is a node 2 as well. From this 2 we can move on to 2 itself. That means there is a self edge. And from 3 we can move on this 0 as well. Now this will be the graph for this example number 2. Let us suppose this room 0th is initially opened for us, and we try to run a DFS for this 0. The DFS will mark 0 as true and try to run on first, that means 1. It goes here, mark this as true, and move on the next adjacent node to this. As 0 is previously visited, so DFS will not go to 0th node again, it will go to the 3rd, that means here. Mark this as visited, and from here it will try to go to this 0, but it will not go to this 0 because it is previously visited. It will try to go to this 1 here. This will not go to this 1 because it is previously visited as well. So the DFS for first time will be over, and this is unmarked. So let us keep count for how many times this DFS will called. So for first time all these nodes get marked, and this 2 is marked when this DFS for this 2 is called. So there will be 2 times when this DFS will be called, and every time this DFS will called, we have to take care of that counter as well. We have to return true in those cases only when this count variable is 1. That means in single go this DFS will have to visit all the rooms, and if this count variable is more than 1, we have to return false in that case. So let us code this and check if it is correct or not. Let us first take the size of the rooms. We have to take care for every index, that means for every room. So mark a visited, that is previously false. Now we have to make the adjacency list to move on the every adjacent element for every node. For int I equals to 0, we can move to now. What is u? U is basically I. That means for 0 we can move on this 1 and 3. So for 0 there is a node between 0 to 1 and 0 to 3. So u is I, and the v is basically this room. So make a edge from u to v, a directed edge. Now let us initialize a counter variable from 0. Try to run a DFS for like this, if this is not visited, we have to run a DFS for this node, ith node, and pass the adjacency. Every time this DFS will be called, increment our counter variable. Define the DFS function. Now what we have to do every time when we are on our DFS, we have to first mark our node as visited, and now we have to move on every neighbor of that node that is unmarked. That means this will extract every neighbor of that. We have to check if that neighbor is not visited, and if it is not visited, we have to run a DFS for that node, like this. After doing this, we have to just check that if this DFS is called for more than one times, it will return false. If it is called for only one time, it will return true. So let us run this and check if it is fine or not. It is running fine, so let us submit this and check if it is passing all the test cases or not. It is passing all the test cases, and this is basically the DFS approach to solve this. There can be a BFS approach to solve this as well. For this same concept, we can use a BFS traversal as well. So thank you so much guys, and please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you get benefited from this channel, and thank you guys.